This is a good question that we have under stoichiometry calculations. Let's see how we can answer this particular question. Saying consider the reaction below. So this is a reaction that is given here. Sometimes the chemical equation is not balanced. You have to balance it. So I'm just telling you in advance, you need to know how to balance a chemical equation. But in this case, if you look at this one is in solid, this one is in gaseous state, this one is in solid state, this one is in is existing as a gas. So this is solid, gas, solid, gas. This is what you need to know. So if you want to know the state symbols, I've told you. The question is saying, iron trioxide can be obtained by reacting 16.8 grams of iron with 10 grams of steam. This is what we are given. It's a good question, isn't it? This is a good question. The first question is saying determine the limiting reagent. I've already told you that a limiting reagent is a reactant or a reagent that is in short supply by the mole ratio, and hence it finishes before the other reactant is completely reacted. That is a limiting reagent. So sometimes they will tell you to say define the term limiting reagent, or define what is the limiting reagent. They would give you questions like this. But in this case, they want you to know to tell them that the limiting reagent is this one or that one. So we only have two of them, iron and the water, which is steam. So for us to calculate this question, I've mentioned something like mole ratio. So without even calculating this question, I'm able to tell that iron is the limiting reagent. Iron is the what? Iron is the what? Limiting reagent. So I'm able to conclude iron is the what? Limiting reagent. The questions that you are having, how did I know that iron is the limiting reagent? Look at the mole ratios. This one is having 3, that one is having 4. But you are not supposed to go with this unless you are an expert in these things. But it's good to just calculate. I've told you that how do we calculate? The way we get to calculate, you say the number of moles for this one and the number of moles for that one. So we calculate number of moles for iron. So I'll say number of moles for what? For iron. How do we calculate? We say mass over what? Over molar mass. This is equal to, what is the mass for iron? We are given 16.8. That is the mass over. What is the molar mass for iron? The mass number for iron is 56. If you check on your periodic table, it is what? 56. Now, there is a 3. We are using a balanced equation. So there is a 3. We multiply that by 3. We say 56 multiplied by 3. If I'm not mistaken, this is giving you 168. You can confirm this with me. So it is 168 grams per what? Per mole. If you divide here, you are going to get the number of moles will be equal to what? 0.1. So I'll say 0.1 moles of what? Of iron. So I'm done with the iron. These are the number of moles. I go to what? I go to this one that is there. This is what? Steam. So I say, okay, number of moles for what? For water. That is water, which is in the gaseous state. So it is steam. So mass. What is the mass? I'm given 10. So I say 10 grams divided by molar mass. What is the molar mass for water? When you calculate the molar mass for water, I guess you know how we calculate molar mass. This is not something that is new. Those of you that have been following me, you know how we are calculating this. For water, we do this. Maybe there is someone that has just joined. So, and if you've joined me, make sure you subscribe to this channel, share with your friends. And if you want tuitions, I'm going to share my number after this particular lesson. This is 1 times 16. 2. There are 2 atoms. 2 times 1. So you discover that what you are going to have here, this is 16, this is 2. So the answer that you are going to have there is what? 18 grams per mole. 18 grams per mole. There is a 4 that is there. There is a 4. So you multiply this by what? By 4. The answer you are going to get is 72, if I'm not mistaken. You are going to get 72. So 72 grams per mole. Where you are just now going to say, therefore, what is the answer now? What is the answer? Number of moles are equal to. So if you divide there, what answer are you going to get if you divide? The answer you are going to get should be 0.14 moles. Of what? Of steam, like this. So these are the 2 answers, this one and this one. Which one is the limiting reagent? Therefore, iron is the limiting reagent. Iron is the what? Is the limiting reagent. Iron is the what? Limiting reagent. This is what you are supposed to do. But sometimes they may even ask you, why is it that iron is the limiting reagent? Because it is having less number of moles compared to steam. So you just answer it just like this. This is how you are supposed to answer these particular questions. I move to the next one. The next question, they are telling me to say that how many moles of iron trioxide, have you seen how many moles of iron trioxide will be obtained? So the one that is going to be obtained. So when you are taught to answer such questions where you even determine the limiting reagent, just know that for us to determine the number of moles for this one that will be obtained, you need to use the limiting reagent, because that is the one that used all the moles. That is the one that used all the quantities it had in it. So it finished everything. That is why we need to use it. We cannot use steam, because steam had some things that had to remain in it. Have you seen? It had to have some things that did not remain in it. That is what, this is the reason why we are not supposed to use it. So you are not supposed to use that one. So this is how you answer a question. This is what you need to do. So you say, okay, what I'm going to do now, to answer this question now, these are the number of moles that will be obtained in iron trioxide. So what I will do is that now I'm going to say, I'm taught to find moles. So I'm going to use mole to mole ratio. That is something that is so easy to find. So mole to mole ratio. So how do I do that? I'm going to say that moles, I will use iron there. I've told you that I need to use what? Iron. So I will say iron is because it is having less number of moles there. So I use what? Iron. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say 3 moles there. 3 moles of iron are equate to what? Here. To this one, iron trioxide, only one what? Only 1 mole. There is only 1 mole. Then I say this one, I'm not supposed to include this K3. I just calculated the way it is. So iron mass for iron. So iron, number of moles for iron. So number of moles for iron is equal to mass. It is what? 16.8 grams. Molar mass, it is 56. I'm not now supposed to use the balance one. So if I do the calculations, I'm going to get 0.3 moles. So meaning that that is the answer. It is the one I'm going to put here, 0.3 moles. Then I say equivalent to what? Here moles, I just say x. Then I cross multiply. So those of you that are interested, even as I end this, those of you that are interested in starting tuitions with me, this is my WhatsApp number. So WhatsApp me on this number. I'm here to help you get a distinction in mathematics, science, and biology. This is my number. So you can WhatsApp me on this particular number. I add you to the group. So WhatsApp me, finish this particular question. I see if you've understood. So you answer this, I see if you've understood. So this is how you're supposed to answer a question. I guess you've seen now this is now a bit tricky. If you want to determine the limiting reagent, when calculating the number of moles, we consider these numbers that we used to balance. But if now you answer a question like how many moles now, you just now get the way it is given without considering these ratios. So if you want to calculate the number of moles for this one, you just get it the way it is. Forget about that one, because we are not balancing any, we are not calculating the limiting reagent here. So we say x times 3, that is 3x, which is equal to 0.3 times 1, we are going to get 0.3. You divide both sides by 3, we divide both sides by 3, where we are going to have x that will now be equal to, so if you divide here, you are going to get 0.1. Have you seen 0.1 moles? So I'm going to say 0.1 moles of what? Iron trioxide, like this. So this is what you are going to get. This is the answer. You are done. Hope you've seen how I've answered this. This is a bit tricky and you need to understand the way it is. If you want to determine keywords here, if you want to determine the limiting reagent, use those numbers I used to balance. But if you want to calculate a question, you forget. If I say, okay, we calculate the number of moles for iron, we forget about that 3 that is there. So repetition is for emphasis. I'm emphasizing you. Forget about that. Have you seen how to forget about that one? I just calculate it the way it is. So this is what you need to do. These are calculations that you need to put in place. So you just answer it like this. This is another way in which you can answer this particular question. I've got a Facebook page. I want you people to follow me on Facebook. I get to use the name Harrison. Just follow me on Facebook. I want people to follow me on Facebook so that you are connected to my official Facebook page. This is the name. Follow me and invite more people so that we get to benefit together. So this is my official Facebook page. Follow me. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you also follow me on Facebook. And if you want to be helped, I will help you at an affordable fee. This is my number. So you get to WhatsApp me on this number that is here. So this is where I'm going to end from. I guess you've learned 1 or 2 things. This is how we answer questions. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.